my friends, Stephanie here, and I'm back with more movie chatter. And what I have for you today is a horror video. I know I haven't done one of these in a long time, but I love horror movies, and I don't like to just save horror for October. I like to talk horror all year round, and I realize that it's been a little bit. So what I decided to do is like a best of, top 10, whatever you want to call it, favorites. But again, these lists are for fun. They're purely subjective. Your picks may be totally different from, they're actually probably totally different from mine. So let me know in the comments what your picks are for favorite horror families. And now these are just films that I feel are very driven by the family in the film. And without that family, you don't have a film. So these are my picks. I picked 10. They're in no particular order except for my favorite film, which you probably, my favorite film, horror film family, which you've probably already guessed. But we're just going to get right into it with my first one, which is not my favorite, but it's one of my top favorites. It is the family from Hereditary. Now I know this is a polarizing film. People kind of either love it or hate it, but this is a great film, I think. And really what it's not only is it a horror film, but it is a family drama. It's really, the horror is rooted in the drama of the family, and without the family there's no story. So I just think this is terrific. I think Toni Collette did a fantastic job, and she was robbed. She should have gotten an Oscar nod for her performance in this, because she carried this film. She was fantastic. But if you haven't seen Hereditary yet, don't be afraid. Don't worry about it. You can handle it. It is more psychological horror than anything. So definitely check out Hereditary and give the family a nod. They're pretty good. And the next one, these are the Davidsons from Youre Next. And Youre Next is one of my favorite family horror films. And basically what we have is the Davidsons get together for Thanksgiving. I believe it's Thanksgiving. And as they're eating, somebody starts shooting arrows and whatnot through the windows, and they are under attack. And they are being preyed upon by people wearing these crazy masks. So if you haven't seen it, that's what you're in for. And this is just a lot of fun, twists and turns, and there's a gal in here who is just one of the biggest horror badasses that I have ever seen, and I absolutely love her. And if I'm ever trapped in a house and people are shooting things through the window, I want to be on her team. So yes, watch Youre Next. It's awesome. Now this next one, this was a fan favorite. This was very well received, I think, by most people. It got a lot of positive buzz, and I enjoyed it. And it is called Ready or Not. And basically what we have is we have our Samara Weaving. She marries into a wealthy family. She thinks she's met the man of her dreams. I believe their name is Ledomas. It's Ledomas. That's the family name. So she thinks she's met the man of her dreams, and she's married, and what she finds out is it is family tradition that they all gather at this big mansion, which is their home, and it's on their grounds. And the night of the wedding, when someone marries into the family, they play games. And what happens is there's a twist. They're very twisted people, and she ends up in a race for her life, and she is trying to get away from these people. Because of these games, something happens, and she is now on the run for her life. It is a lot of fun. It's got some comedic humor in it. It's got like that dark humor, horror mix, but it's really well done. If you haven't seen Ready or Not and you want to have a fun ride, definitely check it out. Great performances all around and a lot of fun. And I thought it was a pretty unique concept. I haven't really seen anything like that before. I mean, I'm sure there's other things similar, but I haven't seen anything like that. I thought it was very creative. And this next one, they're not the perpetrators of the horror, so to speak, but without them, this franchise doesn't exist, and that is the Warrens from The Conjuring. I just love them. I love the Conjuring franchise. I know not everyone in it is a home run, not even close, and I think that's just how it goes with franchises, especially horror franchises. You're going to have your stronger entries, and then you're going to have your weaker ones. It's kind of ebbs and flows, but ultimately, the thing that keeps them all together is the story of the Warrens, and how, you know, they may not always have the biggest involvement in every film, but they are always the commonality that kind of links the franchise together. So, got to give it up for the Warrens. I know the one that's out there right now is not getting the best reviews, but I'm definitely going to see it because I like The Conjuring, and I even enjoy the bad ones. So, I'm guilty of being a fangirl when it comes to The Conjuring, but the Warrens from The Conjuring would be my next pick. And then I would be remiss if these guys weren't on it, and it is the Torrences from The Shining. We have Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall as Mr. and Mrs. Torrance, and they go up to take care of the Overlook Hotel for a winter. Very isolated, snowy setting. A little bit of madness sets in, a lot of madness sets in, and it is just fantastic performances from the little boy who plays Danny, to Jack Nicholson, to Shelley Duvall. They just come undone, and Jack Nicholson in particular gives an amazing performance. And you know what? I know some people think this is too long, or maybe it drags a little bit. I love this movie. I could watch it anytime, day or night. You pick this up and you want to watch it, I'm watching it with you. And I just love the Torrences. I think the whole dynamic between them and how they interact alone and with each other, I just think it's second to none. And I just love The Shining, and I got to give it up for the Torrences. I think they rock. Here's Johnny. And this next one, this is a little bit of a slower, I would think more quiet horror film, but it's definitely one that got the attention of a lot of people in the horror community, and it is The Witch. And this, the family is never named in this, but it's a timepiece, and it's in New England, and it's in looks like 1630. It's so, the writing is so tiny I can't read it. Anyway, this family, William and Catherine, they are devout Christians with their 5 children, and they are on the edge, they are homesteading to the edge of an impossible wilderness. And what happens is there's something that happens, and they believe that there are supernatural forces at work. But they're kind of shunned out. They're left to live on their own. They're very isolated, and things are going on and things are happening, and there's a lot of suspicion between them. There's a lot of chatter between them. Nobody quite trusts anyone. They are one creepy family. That's what I'm going to say. I think they have it from beginning to end. I really, really enjoy this film. The first time I watched it, I was kind of but it really has grown on me, and I think it's a film that everyone will enjoy. Once you kind of get into the swing of it, might take a watch or two, but really, really good stuff. And it's got that whole creepy woods thing. They got the woods that you're not quite sure what's going on in the woods, and just really, really good acting, really good chemistry between the characters and who play the family members. And I just enjoy this from beginning to end, and I think The Witch is a home run. And like I said, without this family, there's no film, so you got to give it up for them. And then this next one, this is the original, not the remake. Not a fan of the remake, but this is the original, Pet Sematary, which is from Stephen King, an adaptation of Stephen King. And these are the Creeds. And I think most of us have seen Pet Sematary, so you know what happens with the Creeds. And they are just creepy to the nth power. And I think they are so good, and they drive this movie. And without them, what do you have? You have Fred Gwynne across the street. You can have a Munsters movie, but no, you have Fred Gwynne across the street. But I just think they're fantastic. I think they are so much better than the remake. Really, really good stuff. Parts of it are hard to watch, but I think that Pet Sematary and The Family, definitely the Creeds, they're definitely a win when it comes to horror family. So had to give it up for them. And this is actually the 30th anniversary edition. So 30 years this has been out. It's probably a little more than 30 now, because I got it about a year ago. But if you haven't seen it, and the 4K looks really good. But yeah, check out Pet Sematary, the original. Now, the next one, this is one that I admittedly did not click with. I first saw it in the theater, didn't originally click with it, but now I just love it. It's Jordan Peele's Get Out. And this is the Armitage family? Let me see. I have it written down in case I forget. Yes, the Armitage family. Basically what we have is a young gal brings her boyfriend home for a visit with the family, and things are a little off. They're maybe a little too nice, they're a little too interested, but he feels like something is off, and as we quickly find out, something is definitely wrong with these people. And I think these are just really a bunch of wackos. They're a bunch of sick wackos, and it makes this movie awesome. So I have to go with the Armitages from Get Out, and yeah, really good. And this in my opinion, doesn't hold a candle to Us. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people that love Us, and I thought Us was okay, but this right here is the home run. So check out the Armitage family in Get Out if you haven't seen it. Now this one I think is going to be pretty obvious, and it would be on a lot of people's lists, but this is the steelbook for the 40th anniversary. It is the Sawyers from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I know this franchise goes in all kinds of directions, and there's different characters that come in, but I know they're referred to as the Sawyers in at least the first two, but I think most of them, they refer to them as the Sawyers, even though there's different people. But what a sick bunch of people. I mean, you have Leatherface, you have them taking people into captivity, you have the dinners, the family dinners, if you want to call it that. It's just madness. These people are nuts, and I just love them. I think the Sawyers are awesome. They're gross. You could imagine if the film had smell-o-vision, the smell in that house. I mean, my goodness, just take a look at it. If you haven't watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you know, what are you doing with your life? Check it out, and they are so much fun. Just enjoy them. They're not to be taken seriously. They're just really, really good, fun horror films, and I think that I wish the franchise was a little more linear, but I think part of what makes it fun is that you can kind of watch anyone, anywhere, and it just kind of works if you know the basic story. But gotta give it up for my Sawyers. They're gross, and they make good horror. And then my last one, I know this is obvious, it's the thumbnail. It is the Firefly Clan. Firefly Clan from Rob Zombie's trilogy, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell. And I know Three from Hell wasn't everybody's favorite. Devil's Rejects, I'm going with the popular vote. That's my favorite. This is the Target triple pack steelbook. I think it's got a really cool cover. You have Sid Haig right there. Great shot of Sid Haig. And you have the whole crew on there. And then it has a nice clear slip. But this is the Blu-ray triple pack. And, I mean, come on. Does it get crazier than the Firefly Clan? I mean, I have never seen a bunch of people who are crazier and more sadistic than this group right here. They take it to a whole new level. And Rob Zombie refers to his humor as hillbilly horror. This nails it like I've never seen before. And I just love them. I could watch them do anything. And I'm just captivated by it. I love these movies. I am an unapologetic Rob Zombie fan. You can challenge me on it. You can hate me for it. It's fine. I love Rob Zombie. I love these films. I even like his bad films. And so the Firefly Clan would be my last pick and my favorite pick for this little video here that I'm doing for Best Families. But I have a question for you. Being the Rob Zombie fan that I am, love his music, love his movies. Not saying that everyone's a home run, but I like his movies. It has been announced that he is doing a Munsters movie. I am a huge Munsters fan. I grew up with the original Munsters, watching them on TV, black and white sitcom, horror sitcom. I don't even like that this shirt's in color because I want it to stay in black and white. Tell me what you think. Is Rob Zombie doing a Munsters movie a good thing, not a good thing, or you're undecided? You're just going to wait and see how it comes out, because I'm not real happy about it, but I'm going to be open-minded and I will see it. Just something I wanted to throw out there. So those are my favorite horror families. Maybe they're not the best, but those are my picks. They're my favorites. If there's other ones out there that you like better, tell me. Maybe I haven't seen the movie. Maybe I forgot about it. Leave me some comments. But I want to thank you guys as always for watching. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up, some comments, suggestions, recommendations. Consider subscribing. Hit the bell notification so you know when I upload again. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to upload Friday. We're going to continue with the collection series, and I will start showing you my Criterion collection. So that's going to do it for me today. I'm going to get to it and probably start organizing the room because it's a mess and I have to do a room tour eventually. So for today, that's a wrap.